Hello, welcome back to the GatHouse Fitness channel. Today I will be bringing you a video about weight loss plateaus, what they are, why they happen, and 7 easy tips on how to remedy a plateau situation. So of course I have my notes as always, so I will be glancing back and forth, but we'll get right into this so we can kind of make it quick as possible. So what is a weight loss plateau? Generally, it's a point where you've been smashing all your goals, everything's been going fabulous, you've been seeing progress, whether it is via the scale or your clothes or measurements or mood elevation, your skin's clearing up, whatever the case may be. But then you get to a point where it's days, even weeks maybe, for some maybe even a couple of months, where you see no progress in any area whatsoever, and it is very, very frustrating. So what kind of happens, without going into all the sciencey stuff about muscle and fat and glycogen and water and metabolism and all of that, is body accommodation, or you have relaxed your efforts, which in most people's cases is because you've been doing it so long, you stop kind of checking yourself and your efforts have relaxed. So here are 7 tips to kind of get you back in check and get you back on track to your goals, okay? So the first one, like I said, make sure you haven't relaxed your efforts, you haven't reverted to old habits. So maybe for a short period of time, you should go back to whatever you were doing when you started. So maybe that is tracking what you ate, maybe it is keeping a workout journal, or going back to the basics. So some people start things really simple and it works, and then you try to get all fancy because you know you're all big and mighty at this point and you've been making all this progress, and you try to make things too complicated. So maybe you should just go back to what you did in the beginning that got you the progress you were looking for, and then go from there. Also, tighten up the reins. Sometimes, you know, in the beginning, you're like, I'm not having any cheat meals. I'm not going to, go out with my friends on the weekends. If I do, I'm going to make sure I check the menu before I go, and I'm going to get this, those type things. Make sure you rein yourself back in. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, create more activities for yourself to be active outside of the gym. So a lot of people go to the gym or work out at home, whatever your case may be, and then you're sedentary outside of that. So say on the weekend, you usually go to the movies. Maybe you should go indoor rock wall climbing, or maybe you should go for a hike. Do things like that that also get you active outside of the gym. That can also kind of amp you up and get you past that plateau. 4, make sure you're getting enough sleep. It's a really, really simple thing, but most people kind of skimp themselves on sleep, and you need to make sure your body is having enough time to recover and that you have enough energy to put into your workouts and going to your job and chasing your family around and whatever your other responsibilities are. 5, make sure you're not dilly-dallying during your sessions. So you may need to increase your intensity at the gym, or you need to shorten your rest period. So I know there's a lot of times you go to the gym in between sets or circuits or whatever you're doing, you check your phone and you might really think it's 10-20 seconds, but in the end of the, when it all boils down to it, it's about 2-3 minutes. So check your rest times. Maybe you should put your phone on silent or vibrate to make sure that you're not checking it all the time, or put your rest periods on a timer. Like set your timer for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and when that goes off, you're right back to it. Also, if say you were doing treadmill intervals and you've been running on a pace of 5 for 3 months, maybe you should bump it up to 5.5 or 6 at this point. Okay, so number 6, make sure you're not just doing cardio. For most males, this isn't a problem because they usually go into the gym in mind, even in the beginning, with weightlifting and doing some cardio to meet their weight loss goals. But for some reason, most women just want to get on the treadmill or the elliptical or the Stairmaster. So make sure you're not just doing cardio. Make sure you are incorporating weights and resistance training. If you're already doing this, then make sure you increase either your reps or the weight you use. And again, Make sure you're not taking really long rest periods. And then the last one is really, really simple. Increase your water intake. So if you've been drinking a half a gallon of water per day, then increase it to 3/4 gallon or a gallon. And if you've been drinking a gallon, then maybe drink a gallon in a bottle or something like that. So these 7 simple tips for most people will help you break through your plateau. In most cases, it is really just that you've relaxed your efforts, you kind of gotten comfortable with what you were doing, and you're kind of slacking on yourself. You're not really paying attention. You're not nitpicking and critiquing yourself as much anymore. So your efforts have relaxed, and so has, the goals that you were getting. So just make sure you pick back up your intensity, progress yourself from what you were doing in the beginning, because you've been doing it for a while now. So progress yourself forward and make sure that you are getting enough sleep and water. I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, please feel free to send them to me. I will have all my contact information in the description box below. And see you next time. Thanks.